Hey, good morning, COs, turnkeys, screws, and hacks. All right, dog's getting into trying to drink my pop. It's Salty CO back at you with another one. Been seeing a lot of video or posts on Facebook from newer officers that are asking things about equipment, how to set their equipment up, and what to use and what to get. You know, if their agency doesn't provide them stuff. So I figured I'd do a quick one. Hopefully a quick one about some of the equipment that I use, that I've used for years. Forewarn you, I am not sponsored by anybody in this. This is equipment that I've found and used over years that I've actually enjoyed and found to be extremely useful. Start with, you gotta have a good watch. I got a Garmin Instinct. I use it for the Army, I use it for work too. It's, you know, the GPS is handy for Army, not so much inside the institution. Measure your heart rate, it's a good thing on this one too. But Garmin, good watch. Doesn't matter if it's a Garmin or anything, just a good watch that keeps good time. That's one of the important things, to make sure you aren't missing your rounds if you have to do logged rounds, or if something happens, you can know the time. Next, it's a good pair of search gloves. These are Hatch Friskers. They're Kevlar lined. My agency gave them to me. I've used the version like this without the cuff, and then ones will have the cuff on them. They're great. They're leather. I like them. I always get them a size small, at least smaller than my hand size, so I can stretch them out and they can fit my hands better. So when I'm patting down a guy, I can actually feel things. If they're too big, you're gonna miss things. This, I can feel things, and they fit real good on my hands. Anytime right now, this locked unit I'm working, I'm dealing with an inmate who's coming up because they were fighting or having a mental health issue, or, you know, we're dealing a guy that's a little off his rocker, like literally cheese slid off the cracker. I put these on just in case, you know, he wants to get frisky, he wants to fight, and, you know, that way I'm ready to go. They're very good protecting my knuckles if I have to hit somebody. I've used, like I said, I've used these before. They work amazing. Broke both my hands before, so wear your gloves. Don't get cut up. Next thing, if your agency has you carrying the big bear sprays, invest in one of these. It is a Safariland MK9 holster. My agency, for certain posts, you carry MK9s. And the ones they give us are the LobPro, oh, dog's got a rock. LobPro nylon holders, and they just flop all over your legs. This fits real nice. It holds it, great retention. It's friction retention. And the plus side is, if I'm working those posts for a period of time, I got the belt clip. I can undo it and just put this on my belt, my pants, leave this in my backpack, swap it out. This was kind of something I had to kind of customize with Safariland parts to make it work, but you do what you got to do. Sometimes the companies don't really give us what we need, so we make it work. So my agency requires us to wear body armor. This is inside here panels are spike vest. It is Armor Express, I believe, Spike 3, and they really don't care so much what we carry it in right now. They did for a while, and they had us carrying it in I think it was Elbco, I think was the brand, Armor Skin. It just looked like a uniform shirt, and it was fine. It had the agency logo right up here. It had, you know, your name tape. I took my name tape off, obviously. Like I said, don't let you guys really know who I am. You got to take care of yourself, protect your family, so that nobody else can find out who you are. But I decided that because I have back injury from prior training years ago when I was on SORT, young and dumb, blew my back out. So carrying keys and radio and handcuffs and OC and all that stuff tends to really, would pull on my hips, really hurt. And the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse did a great study with Lacrosse PD, in which they found that load-bearing vests, such as these, are a great way to prevent lower back injuries for staff and inside facilities, or even cops on the road. And there's tons of options out there. I mean, this is a Condor vest. Condor, great. I use them for the Army all the time. People kind of scoff at them, well, they're cheap. Who cares? It's cheap. If I get a shank into the chest of this and cuts my vest open, I'm not going to go broke buying a new carrier. If I bought a $600 Shellback Tactical or one of the other ones out there and I had that happen, guarantee you I'm going to be paying another $600 for a carrier. Don't want to do that. I want to say when I got this, it was like 160 bucks. Safeline Defense makes one that's got uniform pockets up top and then MOLLE down here around the waist. It's your preference, however you want to do it. All of my pouches down here, these are Blackhawk Tactical. I picked these up years ago. I had gotten urine thrown on me. I'd been wearing Uncle Mike's. In fact, I still have the Uncle Mike's belt. But I'd been wearing Uncle Mike's from when I started. Had urine thrown on me. Didn't want to go through the hassle of cleaning it, so I went and bought new stuff. And I went with Blackhawk because I liked how their pouches were molded nylon and they've held up. Obviously, this belt's probably 15 years, or these pouches are about 15 years old, getting used daily, getting abused daily. The only other one that I don't have that's not Blackhawk is this Uncle Mike's for my Stinger, which we'll get to in a second. But get a good vest that can carry your equipment, or a good belt. Like I said, Uncle Mike's is great. They last. The belt's still great. 17 years old, still working. I just switched to the vest because of my back. Bianchi makes good stuff. Just splurge on this stuff. And the reason I say that, splurge, it's stuff you use every day. It's stuff you need to rely on and count on. You don't want something that's the snap's breaking or the nylon's wearing off. It's something that you don't want to have to purchase again, hopefully in your career ever. So splurge on it. Get the good quality stuff. Get the good stuff. I think this Blackhawk stuff back then cost me like 200 bucks, but it's lasted 15 years. To attach all this to my vest, I ain't gonna use that one. That one's a pain in the butt to get off. I use MOLLE Lock, like from Blade Tech. I think it's like their M-Lock or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. You can find them on Amazon. They just slide through the MOLLE panels and then snap into place. They're great. They don't break. If you're gonna use like regular pouches like these, you're gonna have to modify them with a drill bit, drill some holes in the back to make it work. I had to put, for those 2 screws that go in, I had to put washers in the back because the plastic was ripping. Don't want your plastic to rip because your pouches fall off. Happened to my OC pouch. I have a good radio pouch. This is one my agency gives me. We don't use hand mics very often. You can use them if you want. I don't. So that's right there. I can just reach back, grab it, talk, put it back. Coming over to the other side here, another thing you should have is a good pen. I'm fond of these Pilot G2.5s. I like the extra fine. But have a good pen, something that you can rely on, something that you can count on, that you know is going to work every time you use it, because you never know what you're going to use it for. If you're going to be using your pen to double lock your cuffs, get a crap pen. If your agency provides them, use those, because you don't want one of your good pens blowing up in your pocket. Had it happen, it's not that great. Flashlight. Always have a flashlight that's a decent flashlight. I prefer Stingers from Streamlight. This is their classic LED. I have a Stinger Classic that I bought years ago that I've continued to use. It's in my truck now. But I like the rechargeable nature of it. And then, in the worst case scenario, this does actually make a good intermediate weapon if you need to use it to defend yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Defend yourself, keep yourself safe. But power outages happen, have a good flashlight, or doing bed checks, have something good that you can check on. I like how I can dim it down, so if the inmate's sleeping, I'm not trying to, aggravate them, get them pissed off, not trying to do anything to make their life harder than I have to. So, because that's not my job. Our job's not to punish them. Our job is to maintain custody and maintain their safety. So I can dim it down, I can shine it at the ceiling, I can see them fine in there. If I'm working night shift and I have to count on the housing units, do the same thing, keep it low, I can see. There's tons of flashlights out there, whatever you like, just find one that works. I've used a bunch of them. Meg lights, they're great. In fact, I carry a Meg light in my backpack as a backup. Streamlight makes little pen lights. They're great. I've used those for the Army. I have like the AA and the AAA. I mean, they work great, but I just like the Stinger for my duty carry. Then one of our most important things is key retention. So with key retention, I have dog chains. Yes, dog chains. Given to me years ago, that was the thing. You use a chain. Chain was choke collar from a dog. I went and bought at Target. They had like this blacked out one. Well, paint, you can see from the years of use, just wore off. And they're all clipped to my vest with these Zac Tool mounts, or clips, and they just feed through the MOLLE there. The clips on the ends, I had the problem once. My institution's a hospital too, so a lot of power chairs, a lot of wheelchairs, and I caught my chain one day on a wheelchair, and it shattered the split ring that this attached to this with. So I went and got some quick links. This is not coming off of my belt. This is not coming off of me unless I give it up to somebody. So figure out a way to do it. And then our locksmith at the time told us use these things, horse clips. You can find these at like Tractor Supply Company, or if you're in the Northwest or Midwest, you have Fleet Farm or Farm and Fleet or Menards. Any hardware store has these, because that way if this spring fails inside here, this stays shut. Your keys don't fall off. Now these have lasted me about 12 years. 12 years of use, and these things have not beaten up and destroyed themselves yet. Have a chain for every set of keys you carry. Now, my current one, I carry 2 sets of keys. So I have one set here, one set in the back. And there we go. Okay. So then you have another set in case you have an extra set of keys you need to carry. But every set of keys should be on a chain. Accountability. And then here is for my chits. My agency uses brass name chits. My name is on the other side. Again, not going to show you guys. These are pretty worn. Had them for 12 years. I've actually had extras made and new ones made because I kept losing them or what have you. So the equipment is important. When it comes to putting your stuff up at home, get yourself a good hanger. These tough hooks are amazing. They fit the vest. They're heavy duty. They don't bend, and you can hang stuff underneath here too. Like my OC thing in the car, it hangs underneath this. My MK9 holster. One other thing I've added to this is kind of an additional thing to make it easier for getting on and off. On the front here, this is a barrel lock, and I just pull this tab and this slides apart. If I can do it one-handed. Sorry guys. There we go, got it apart. See, this mates to that. It saves me having to undo the Velcro every time I want to get out of my vest. Makes it real easy. Now I can set the other side, and I'm sit there monkey around where things are. So when it comes to placement of your equipment on your vest, muscle memory is the biggest thing. I teach this in self-defense every year. Teach this to the new hires when I get them, teach them stuff. Right now, they're having us do some of our staff training stuff, sending them to their training site. We're doing it at the institution, and I hit this in that class too. Figure out where the stuff goes that you want it to go, where you want it to go, how you want it to be. Don't turn around and be changing it up once you have it set. By all means, get it where you want it. Change it around until it's comfortable where you want it. This vest has been set up like this for about 6 months because I was deployed and just got back and started using it. And I'm still monkeying around trying to figure out where I want things, how I want things set up. But back in the day when I ran it with a belt, when I was at the state, I always had my OC right here, or baton, OC, radio, flashlight, and then above each butt cheek was my handcuffs, because I had 2 pairs, and a glove pouch in the middle. And then over here was just my keys. And that's how I ran. That's how I carried my stuff. Never had issues. One thing to really avoid, though, is putting your handcuffs right in the center of your back, because if someone inmate wants to come up and punch you right there, you're going to have serious issues. If you get knocked back, you're landing on your handcuffs. So be cognizant of where you put your stuff. And like I said, recently I've been playing around trying to make things work better with this vest, and I think I've got it pretty well set. My agency's talking about getting us the expandable batons, so I might have to monkey a little bit with it. But it's one of those things where you just work with it and get it to work for you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, comments are welcome, and I want to know that I'm actually reaching people. You know, let your coworkers know about this. Like I said in the introduction, my job is to share some of my knowledge I have, my 17 years doing this, try to make it so you guys can learn from my mistakes, my missteps, and, you know, prosper and get better in this career. Some people, we don't choose to come into this career as our career. This is what we're going to do until we retire. I'm one of them. I didn't start this way. But I want you guys to learn from me and maybe get better and, you know, pass this knowledge on to the next generation and the next generation. You know, we have this tool now with YouTube. So please like, share, subscribe, whatever. Comment. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. If there's any topics that you want my take on, let me know. I'm debating on starting a Facebook page. If I do, I'll let you guys know. The name on it is probably going to be Salty CO unless it's been taken. But yeah, just let me know what you think, guys. All right. Just make sure you stay safe, take care of each other, and I'll talk to you guys later. Salty CO out.